When you stand in the middle of Yellowstone National Park, you see a picture-perfect snapshot of the American wilderness. You see pine forests, snow-melt rivers, and bison grazing in the quiet valleys. It's a landscape so dramatically beautiful that millions of tourists have traveled here for well over a century just to take it all in. They gather by the thousands to watch the park's famous geothermal anomalies, towering plumes of boiling water rocketing into the sky. This fascination with the boiling ground has been the central focus of the park since the earliest geological surveys documented it. But that peaceful surface is a fragile roof covering a geological monster. Every tourist standing near those geysers is walking directly on top of a highly active fault line. The geysers scattered across these valleys function as critical exhaust valves, constantly venting pressurized energy from deep within the earth. The sheer density of these features is staggering. There is a higher concentration of bubbling mud pots, hot springs, and geysers clustered here than almost anywhere else on the continent. To understand what is actually driving all this activity, we have to look past the trees and the wildlife and physically map the architecture hidden miles below ground. Let's start the descent. At the uppermost crust, rain and snowmelt seep downward through miles of highly porous, fractured rock. This cross-section illustrates what happens next. Descending surface water hits superheated rock, instantly flashing into pressurized steam. With nowhere else to go, that boiling water is violently forced back up through narrow structural bottlenecks, eventually exploding out of the surface as a geyser. But the crust itself is merely acting as a giant radiator. To boil that much water continuously, there has to be an unimaginably large heat engine sustaining it just below.
This scale comparison reveals the staggering physical dimensions of that engine. Lurking right beneath the crust is a reservoir of partially molten rock that dwarfs the surface features above. When a chamber this size erupts and empties its contents, the crust above it loses structural support and collapses. Mapping these boundaries reveals the entire national park sits within this sunken crater. Geologically, a supervolcano is defined by its ability to eject more than 1,000 cubic kilometers of material in a single event. The magma chamber beneath the park holds enough volume to reach this threshold many times over, placing it at the absolute peak of the volcanic explosivity index. We have one final level to drop. Below the magma chamber, we reach the ultimate heat source, a mantle plume of magma rising from deep within the Earth's interior. This deep Earth column acts like a continuous blowtorch. It slowly melts the lower crust and steadily builds tectonic pressure over hundreds of thousands of years. With this deep Earth engine providing constant power, the system remains a highly active, cyclical pressure cooker. When we return our perspective to the surface, the peaceful forest takes on a different context. It is ground zero for an inevitable cyclical release. If that built-up pressure breaches the crust, the resulting explosion would tear the surface apart and eject billions of tons of pulverized rock into the atmosphere. This map projects the continental scale consequences. A supereruption would blanket a vast radius of North America in thick volcanic ash, choking out agriculture and triggering a severe, long-term disruption of the global climate. While the fallout would be catastrophic to modern human infrastructure, in the deep time of Earth's geology, an event like this is a routine mechanical reset. Knowing this, scientists at the Yellowstone Volcano Observatory keep a constant watch. They monitor every seismic tremor and measure microscopic shifts in ground deformation to track the giant's internal pressure. It leaves us with a strange paradox. The exact same geological engine capable of continental destruction is responsible for creating the thermal landscapes that millions cherish today. It's a reminder that human civilization exists at the mercy of the raw, uncontrollable forces still slumbering beneath our feet.